Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into a Friday edition of The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube, Twitter X, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm your host, Andrew Romanella. We got you for the next 30 minutes, and we have a fantastic show for the people. We'll be previewing the NFC and the AFC Conference Championship games over the weekend after 21 weeks of National Football League football. We have gotten down to the final four teams, and outside of a quarterback injury on one of them, these are four really good teams to have battling in the conference championship game. So we'll take you through our predictions, some of the numbers in this game, and then, of course, the banana lines and our picks for those, so you can hopefully win some fruits over the weekend. We haven't been joined by him yet this week, but we'll be joined by him today. Rocky Romanella of the Hockey with Rocky contingent.
Handle this to Rocky Romanella.
Will join us, and we will get all of our National Hockey League updates, the standings, the Olympics, some signings, and everything in between. Just remember, you can get in on the action, youtube.com/the Romanellas. That's youtube.com/the Romanellas. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you if you're subscribing to us on YouTube or Twitter X. Oh, that's not it. Twitter X and Instagram. That's Twitter X and Instagram, The Rome Show 1. You can comment live on both of those, or the OG Facebook.com/The Rome Show, The Rome Show podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. This weekend, we have a 2 slate of games in the National Football League. The first one, we have the Denver Broncos versus the New England Patriots. That game will be played on Sunday, 3 p.m. CBS. And then we have, for the third time this season, an NFC West showdown. A rivalry that goes beyond just this season, that has a career record of 500, an equal amount of losses and wins for each team against each other. The Los Angeles Rams travel to Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. That is a 6:30 p.m. start on Sunday, and that game will be on Fox. We'll spend our time in both areas to give you our thoughts, starting in Denver with the Denver Broncos against the New England Patriots. Now, to me, this is a pretty simple breakdown on both sides of the ball. The major story heading into this game is the health, or lack there, of health for the starting quarterback for the Broncos, Bo Nix, which means the backup quarterback, Jarrett Stidham, will be starting for the Broncos. Now, the crazy part about this is during the regular season, Jarrett Stidham and the entirety of the Denver Broncos quarterback room, not named Bo Nix, have not thrown or attempted a pass all season. Okay, part of the excitement around Bo Nix, outside of his talent and his ability as a quarterback, was his ability to be available throughout the entirety of his rookie season, available throughout the entirety of this season, available, of course, until the postseason, he breaks his ankle. So now, not only are the Broncos farther than they've been in the last decade plus, not only do the Broncos arguably have the best defense in the league, and if they're 1B, they're 1B to the Seattle Seahawks, which tells you a lot about how good they are and how good the Broncos are. They have arguably, depending on who you talk to, the best coach remaining in the postseason. Everything lined up. And now you're playing a guy that has not thrown a pass all season. And by the way, Jarrett Stidham, only 4 career starts underneath his belt since being drafted into the league. Drafted by the New England Patriots, by the way. In the gap between Tom Brady and Drake May. It was, I believe, Tom Brady. It was Jarrett Stidham, Cam Newton, Mac Jones, then you got to Drake May. If I'm right about the matriculation of the history of the Patriots quarterback post Tom Brady retiring. So you got a guy that, whether right or not, another organization picked at one point in time to maybe turn into their next franchise quarterback that hasn't thrown a pass all year and has a minimal amount of starts underneath his belt. So that brings me to my first key of this game, okay? Because when you break down the Denver Broncos, all year we've been starting with their defense, okay? Well, in this game, most specifically, the defensive line has to be the factor, has to be the difference maker. To me, if that front four of the Denver Broncos can put consistent pressure on the offensive line and Jarrett Stidham, this game goes awry for the Broncos. The Rams. The only get it right, Andrew. The Patriots front four. Come on, you got this. The Patriots front four can get to Stidham, and the offensive line of the Broncos cannot keep him protected. That's the game right there. Because if you're the Denver Broncos, the second key is your running game. Because on offense, you don't want Stidham to step back, throw the ball 30 times, and put the game in his hands. It's actually the opposite. In this scenario, we got to find a way to make this the greatest running attack we have ever had. We need to double the time of possession for our offense comparative to the Patriots offense. And on the flip side, all you're doing, if you're the Patriots defensive line, the Patriots linebackers, the Patriots defense in general, is trying to speed that clock up of Jarrett Stidham. The second is, in the simplest of forms, the run defense on both sides of the ball. Because though the quarterback battle goes to Drake May with how it's currently situated, both running games feel very similar to me. Okay? Could be really good. Could be the key focal point in this thing. But at the same time, some days they show up and you're like, huh. So which running game has the advantage here? Because even though Drake May could potentially be the MVP and is playing some really good quarterback, it's still Mike Vrabel to want to control the clock, hold the time of possession, and make it a gross, gritty defensive game. That's what I think is the best part of this New England Patriots team. They could beat you 16 different ways. Like, they'll come out and they'll play quarterback gunsling football. They'll come out and they'll play gross 1970s run the rock football. They'll come out and they'll play all defensive slugfest football. The Patriots are the ultimate chameleon team for the game at hand. So which team can control that possession clock with their running game? Finally, I don't think this is a great receiving core for the New England Patriots. I actually think this Patriots team is doing more with less from a weapon standpoint on the offensive side of the ball than most people in the National Football League. You could argue, when healthy, the New York Football Giants have a better wide receiving core, a better running back core, a better overall weapons base on offense than the New England Patriots, who are truly led by Stephon Diggs and Ramondre Stevenson. Okay? So in that light, you say to yourself, well, if the Denver Broncos can really shut down whatever it is, the receiving core or the weapons, better word, of the Denver Broncos, of the New England Patriots, well, then it has to be a run the football possession game, and that's exactly where the Broncos want it. If they can show an inconsistency to the pass game of the Patriots, especially in the first half, it can change the way that second half offense rolls. Maybe get a little bit of, maybe Drake May stops believing in himself, maybe the offense stops rolling, and good things could happen. But again, if the Denver Broncos offense has zero pulse, it almost doesn't matter on the other side. That's game number 1 on Sunday. Game number 2 is the National Football Conference. That's at 6:30 p.m. on Fox. And that has the Seahawks versus the Rams. The Seahawks are favored by 2.5 in this contest. These two teams have played each other twice already this season, going 1-1 on the year. One of the main things for me in this contest, which is why I think I'm the most excited for this conference championship game than I've been excited for a conference championship game in a really long time. In my opinion, this is the best offense in the Los Angeles Rams and the best defense in the Seattle Seahawks going up against each other. You also might have, depending on which way you look at it, the two best wide receivers in the game going up against each other in Puka Nacua and Jackson Smith-Njigba. And that doesn't even include Devontae Adams, who led the league in touchdowns this season, also on the Rams roster. You have a plethora of top fives all over this field. You possibly have the most valuable player in the league in Matthew Stafford, who is playing some of the best football of his life, nearing 40 years old. And you also, same argument I make with the Sean McVay, in Denver with Sean McVay. If you look at it, he could be the best head coach available right now in the 4 teams remaining. Sean McVay, always a great game plan, always locked. It's not often the Los Angeles Rams get blown out. I think that is the true telltale sign of a great coach. How often does your team get blown out? Because if they don't get blown out often, well, I got to be honest with you, that's usually a team that fights. I give the advantage to Matthew Stafford and the Rams on the offensive side. I give the major advantage to the Seattle Seahawks on the defensive side. The Rams, the biggest key in this game to me, bar none, is the Rams secondary, okay? Because, like I said before, though the Rams are the best offense in the league, Seattle is right there behind him. If the Rams are averaging 30.5, I think Seattle's offense averages nearly 27.5. Like, it's right there. But the crazy disparity in this game will most likely come from the back end of the defense, okay? Obviously, Seattle has to keep the gunsling of Matthew Stafford down. But to me, it's the Rams defense, who has been slaughtered before. They gave up 35 to the Carolina Panthers, okay? They went through a spurt from week 14 to week 18 where they were a bottom 15 defense in the league, okay? So if Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith-Njigba, A.J. Barner, and that group come out and they're feeling like they can find space, they're feeling like they can score some points, they can be the best offense in the league. We've seen it. I mean, last week they won 41-6 against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, don't get me wrong. That team's got some injuries, but that just goes to show you how good that offense could be. There's not much I'm looking past here than what Rams defense shows up. Because if the Rams defense shows up in this game then I believe we have a potential overtime, a potential like it's 24-21. If the Rams defense doesn't show up in this game, I don't care how many points Matthew Stafford and that offense believes they can score. The Seahawks defense has showed up for 21 straight weeks. Their sample size is, I believe they'll show up. So, number one, start with what defense do we get of the Los Angeles Rams? And then secondly, turnover battle. When you have two teams that are this good, heavyweight battle going at each other, it really does come down to who protects the rock. And that is probably something you can say in every football game that's ever existed. But when it comes down to two elite teams, oh man, it generally, you go right to the turnover battle or who was bad on special teams, and that's the team that lost it. This is going to be a very, very fun football game. What we'll do is we'll take a quick commercial break, okay? Because when we come back, we have one of the few Rocky Romanellas on the show. He's got to do his rundown, with which we definitely talk National Hockey League. But to finish the show today, so roughly around 7:45 a.m., we will make our picks for the AFC and the NFC championship game. So if you're looking to win some bananas over the weekend, stay with us till the back end of this show, and we will give you our picks. It's the Rome Show on a Friday. Andrew Romanella, 729, State of New Jersey. Commercial break. Back after this.
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Tighten the Lug Nuts, one of the best leadership books available.
Now, inside the glass, hockey with Rocky.
Yeah, time to light the lamp on a Friday. Oh, I'm not in. Oh, I'm in now. Time to light the lamp. It's a Friday. What's going on?
How we doing? It is Rocky's rundown on a Friday. That's weird. I have to get comfortable with that.
Yeah, it's great. No, fresh off a morning skate on the outdoor rink in the backyard with the kids. I think I like that on a Friday. I don't know if you can kick off the day any better.
No, absolutely not. And that's what happens when you live in Western and New York and you wake up and you see single digits on your
It almost got
calendar.
canceled too. It almost got canceled. I was out last night. I put in like an hour and a half of work, right? Watered, Zamboni,
All the
and
stuff.
then woke up and there was just 4 inches of snow on top of it. And you're like, come on.
Yeah. And generally you're like, oh, isn't that a good thing? No, not when we're creating a hockey
No.
rink.
No, not when I want a smooth surface.
That's exactly right. We're talking to
Yeah.
Rocky Romanella. It's our weekly spot. We call it Rocky's Rundown. You call it Hockey with Rocky. Whoever calls it whatever they want. We break down the National Hockey League weekly. Remember, youtube.com/the Romanellas if you want to comment and ask Rocky a question or give us your thoughts. Instagram, The Rome Show 1. Twitter X, The Rome Show 1 as well. Rocky, the floor is yours. Let's get it going.
Thank you. We are 14 days away from Milano Cortina.
Wow.
Seth Jones goes on LTIR and can no longer play in the Olympics for Team USA. Travis Lacombe, not doesn't matter. Not Lane Hudson is replacing him, which is the problem for me because I don't understand how you've got a kid who's like 2 years removed from winning the World Juniors, like one of the best U.S. born defensemen, and he's not on the team, especially when you have the youth taking over a youthful veteran mix in Canada. We just have it seems to me like a veteran mix on
Yeah.
Team USA.
It seems like that's the path that they wanted to go. For some reason, they believe the veteran presence is going to help them win this gold.
I still can't understand why Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars is not on Team USA. That guy is awesome.
You know what we might
So
need to do for next week's show? We might need to have you create a Team USA team that isn't going to the Olympics so that you can actually see. Because I think that if you broke down the next 25 players, half of those guys you'd argue you want to switch onto the team playing in Milano next month.
well, they're all in the NHL. So
Right, which is good.
let's just go there.
Right.
But like Matthew Tkachuk, who has not touched the ice this season, is he actually playing in the Olympics? And like,
is that beneficial to us?
We have to figure that out. As much, by the way, we need him. Like I want to win. Like I'm trying to be gold medalist, USA.
Right.
Let's go. But he's not playing right now. So who's next? And do they know that they should be preparing? And then you've got and just the way Mike Sullivan is coaching the Rangers, I don't love the way he's going to coach this Team USA team based on what I'm seeing, for the other blue, red, white, and blue. So that's your Olympic update. That's number one. It's just on my head. I can't keep thinking about what this USA team is going to bring us.
Well, so I think that's my feeling on it. And I think this is a really big moment for United States hockey, because not that the USA doesn't always get the support of its country, no matter what the sport, no matter when the Olympics, but after what happened last year with the Classic and the USA versus Canada game, and not even thinking about the gold medal game, just thinking about in general, that first game, I really think that catapulted a bunch of people to be like, oh, I'm excited for the Olympics now. And it's like, you're going to have the chance to win some of those marginal hockey fans over. And the last thing you need, if you're America, is to at least not make it to the Final Four. After that, you know what? These countries are good, Rock. But to not get to that point, I just think that would be really disappointing.
Anything less than silver to me is a failure from a USA standpoint, just based on the way you played at Four Nations. Now, I think Sweden's going to be better than they were at Four Nations. Finland will be better. They'll all be better. And I think our squad, like on paper, actually
not better.
Worse.
Yeah.
Yes, I think our squad on paper got worse. And Austin Matthews better show up and have the best series of his career. And he better play some defensive centerman hockey. And he actually better show up like a captain. Because I would argue like Jack Eichel might outplay him again, and I'm pumped for Jack Eichel.
Can you explain to the people how hockey works with the Olympics to finish? Because not every sport stops their season for 2 weeks. Like, I think hockey is super unique that way. And I want to know I don't know if everyone realizes that's about to happen.
Well, what do you want me to explain? Like the fact that there's a 2-week break in the NHL season?
Yes. And the All-Star game being different this year, all that good jazz.
There is no All-Star game on an Olympic break. It's a 2-week full stop. Like if you want NHL players in the Olympics, you stop the NHL for 2 weeks. And like that's like all eyes are on the international game. Like it is the best of the best. And that is where I question some, like Bill Guerin, I question some of Team USA's decision making. When you look at what Canada made a great 2 big adjustments. Tom Wilson and Macklin Celebrini. Both guys were not on the roster last year. You get Tom Wilson because you saw how physical the play was and how important it was to have a physical guy who could also be a skilled play in that environment. You have Macklin Celebrini because you recognize him as one of the up-and-coming stars of the NHL game, and it would be crazy not to have him on the roster. You look at some of the NHL. I mean, Matthew Schaefer almost made that team, and he's 18 years old. But the fact that he was even being considered, I don't think USA would even consider Ryan Leonard right now. They're not even considering Lade Hudson. And both of those guys won World Junior gold medals with Team USA and played against Macklin Celebrini in those.
Right. Have the experience.
So where and by the way, like and I would have to call Patrick Kane and figure out, like, is it his choice to not be on the team? Because like, why wouldn't we have him if we're gonna have Brock Nelson?
Right. No, that's a really, really good point. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the hockey portion of the Olympics starts on Thursday, February 5th, with the women's side of the bracket. Right. United States on the women's side, 1, really good chance to win gold, but 2, they get kicked off on February 5th versus Czechoslovakia, whereas the men's tournament gets kicked off on February 11th with the USA playing their first game versus Latvia on February 12th. So that is your schedule coming up, Rocky, in the next 2 weeks.
Prior to the Olympics on February 1st, you will see another outdoor hockey game. It will be
Yep.
in Florida again. It will be in Tampa Bay at Raymond James Stadium. They will be shooting cannons, and it will be the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Boston Bruins. Why it's not the Tampa Bay Lightning playing the Florida Panthers, still have no clue, considering it's like the number one rivalry in all of hockey right now.
Yep. But they wasted the Panthers on the Rangers 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because we needed to do the Miami thing. Um, Cool thing about that is that like there's no dome to protect the ice before the game, so they've had to build like this like makeshift like air conditioned tent for the ice. So it'll be so you got that, you've got the stadium series, then the Olympics, and those are your two like non NHL, here on the rundown.
Nice. I
Um,
like it. And by the way, what's wild about hockey is you're going to get this little bit of a rundown. Then for 2 weeks, Rocky's only going to be running down about international hockey because that's the
no,
only
we're only
thing that's
talking
going to be
Olympics.
played.
Only talking Olympics.
Well, where's
and
the
and
league
it,
sit right now? Because I feel like the league right now is off the charts, man. Every
the
game I
league
turn on is entertaining.
the league is electric. It's continued to be a great season. The team, there's a couple teams I have my eyes on, and the first team, and probably one I was going to talk about most today, is the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh man, dude. And starting with the extension of younger, I keep wanting to call him Shane Doan. I know it's Josh, but it's the son of Shane Doan. I
Yes.
feel like it's twice this year we've seen, once in football, the Dolphins. Now I know they didn't make the playoffs, but you fire your general manager and it makes the team better. It's wild to me.
It's really impressive. It was crazy because like obviously you have to give Kevin Adams credit for putting the team together.
Correct.
But the environment obviously wasn't there. And when the new guy walks into the room and says everyone's expendable, I don't care who you are, like it kind of sends a message to everyone on the squad, and you kind of start playing to your potential a little bit. You remember there's a business here, and it's about winning hockey games. Tage Thompson looks great. Like
He's
Alex
so
Tuck,
good.
who's a Buffalo guy. What are we gonna do with him? Are we gonna re-sign him? Or are we gonna use him as a trade piece? Now it's like, dude, we got to re-sign him.
Yep.
How do we use someone who's young, up and coming? The fans love him, but he doesn't score a lot of goals like Zach Benson, right? What do we do with Bowen Byram, like who we signed to the 2-year bridge deal? Do we use him to go get another piece for a cup run or a playoff run? What do we do with Owen Power, who's pretty much lost all his trade value on the externally? I mean, I don't think he's great, but um, so there's a lot of questions on how to manipulate the team to get ready for a good playoff push here. So that's an exciting one to watch, and that's
By the
going to be a
way,
big trade deadline buzz for them, I think, over the next 4 weeks.
I was just about to say that. By the way, for the people out there that don't understand how crazy this is, it's probably been 15 years. I think that's actually the number, 15 years since the Buffalo
Longest.
Sabres have been buyers at the trade deadline. Not even make the playoffs. Get to the trade deadline and look to make a move to make the
they're
playoffs.
sellers. Yeah, they're sellers. Yeah. They're always selling.
Yeah,
Always
I mean,
selling.
I read an article on that the other day, Rock, and it was like, okay, who are going to be the NHL buyers at the trade deadline? And the first one was the Sabres. And you do one of those, you're like, am I reading this article appropriately? But joking aside, and you're a Western New York guy right now, I got to imagine it's been so cool for that fan base to finally feel some type of excitement and energy. Probably the first time since they drafted Jack Eichel, and then they obviously traded him away. So really not much excitement in the last 10 years.
No, listen, from what I'm understanding or people are telling me, it's true. It's a Sabres town. It's not a Bills town, although it's been a Bills town now for the last 10 years. So,
yep.
But I think when you look at who they're buying at the deadline, they picked up Alexander Georgiev. So he's like not even, I don't know if he's even played a game for them yet, but that's a nice piece. But you got Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Alex Lyon, he's really played a really nice in net. So I would argue you could either use those assets to buy with, or you're going to need to go get maybe a more seasoned goaltender that's had playoff experience. So that would be like what I would think about on the D side. Do I have to use Bowen Byram? Do I have to use Owen Power or a defensive asset to buy? Or do I let it ride and go pick up another stalwart defenseman, in the offseason? And then the next piece is, for me, there's not a playoff buying team where I don't look at veteran Stanley Cup playoff presence at the center position.
Yeah.
Right. And I truly believe like if you could go out and get a veteran centerman or a veteran guy, you might have to let go of a fan favorite like
Yeah.
on the third, fourth line, but you've got to go get someone that can teach these guys how to win in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that's such a great point. We're talking to Rocky Romanella here, weekly spot hockey with Rocky. Rocky's rundown, bringing you through the National Hockey League, getting you ready, one, for the end of the first half, and two, what you're going to be seeing on the back end of the NHL season. Rocky, let's keep it going.
We will also don't forget, like I might be crazy. Because everyone else is like, go get Artemi Panarin, and you got to go score more goals. And I'm like sitting here, you got to play good depth at center, man, and have like so. I'm not. I'm
Defense
not. I'm
wins
not.
championships.
There you go. So I'll just say I'll put that disclaimer out there if you're listening and you think I don't know anything. I got 2 minutes here for you. Love looking at the Wings in first place. I really, like I said, it's really starting to settle out. The push for the wild card on the East between the Sabres, the Bruins, the Leafs, the Panthers, and then maybe the Flyers are really, it's going to be a ton of fun. The Metropolitan looks a little weak. They're all kind of dying off. And on the West, it's everyone versus Colorado.
It's wild. Like I saw something the other day. It was like Colorado lost, and it was like a big deal. I'm like, that's how good you are. That like we're putting up stats like this is your first loss in 13 days, or like first regular season loss. That team's really good. I liken it to the Oklahoma City Thunder, though, Rocky. They are head and heels better than everyone else right now, but that actually scares me long term. It's like, do you really want to be playing your best hockey the first 40 games of the year? And it's like, yeah, but maybe that's just who the Colorado Avalanche are. So I'm really curious to see, will that team be playing the same game 65 to 82?
To me, the President's Trophy winning curse and stuff only affects my teams. It doesn't affect other teams.
It does. No, you and the Capitals. You and the Capitals.
I think the Avalanche are going to be great. I think what we're seeing from the Avalanche is a combination of like the last 4 years of work since their Stanley Cup.
Sure.
Because they've been expected to be this good, or they've ran into injuries, or they've run into this and they've come up short. Like maybe it was that goal. Remember, the goaltender position has always been a question mark since the Cup. So I just think you're seeing like this is like a really good example of an organization that stayed relevant after their Cup, made some good moves, and now like all of it's probably finally clicking. So I don't necessarily think a great regular season for the Avalanche is worrisome for me. I'm more worried like how do we stop these guys in the playoffs, because I don't see them slowing down at all.
That is interesting take. I like that. We'll see what happens when we get back from Italia. Rocky, before you leave, you want to give us your thoughts on a pick or two or on football this weekend? What do you got?
Yeah. So it's funny. Last week, divisional round was great, by the way. 2 OT games. So exciting. Outside of the one blowout. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, San Fran.
Yeah, we appreciate you showing up. It was the Sunday night late game too, so like everyone was kind of burnt out. So
it was like, all right, we're cool with this one. I'm going to sleep now.
We're good. It's funny. Every team that I would have cheered for lost.
That's
funny. So obviously would have cheered for the Bills. They lost. Then I was like, I could probably get behind the Texans. Nah. And then I was definitely behind the Bears like all day.
Yeah.
So they're all out. So I'm like, all right, who am I going to cheer for? And I look at the landscape. There's no one on Seattle that I want to cheer for. Just I don't have, I don't
have it in you.
No, I don't. And I love, the tough part about New England is that I really like Mike Vrabel. And I like how he's done it, but I just can't see myself getting behind the Patriots right now. I would typically be all in on the Broncos, but for whatever reason, like I don't love the way like that fan base like treated the Giants when we went into that town, and we were like had no business like being treated like we were the best team in the league, and I just think that they're dumb. So I don't.
So you don't like anyone,
but I do like Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. So go Rams.
All right, so you're taking the Rams. It sounds like you believe the Rams are winning this thing too, huh? All
Yeah,
the way.
I think it's gonna be Rams Patriots.
I think I might agree with that. I'm not going to spoil the people because I have to give them that little bit of a teaser, but I like where your head's at. Rams, Patriots, Super Bowl coming from Rocky Romanella. Beautiful stuff out of you.
Final thought.
Yep.
I am very excited that the New York Metropolitans have a pulse.
Dude.
And that's all I'm gonna say. They have a pulse. This is
So
great.
because there's so much football to be talked about, I thought what we could do is we could break down next week all of those moves. And
Oh yeah, because you have a week off. You got a week off after this weekend.
right. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking next week's show, the rundown starts with a rundown of the Mets offseason. Because I talked about it a little bit yesterday on how, as a Mets fan, you might not have agreed with the plan from the jump, but you're finally starting to see the plan matriculate.
Dude, I got 2 Mets texts. This is the last thing I'll let you. I know you gotta give me your picks, but I got 2 Mets texts yesterday. Like, yo, what do you think? And I screenshotted what I'd sent you when Nolan Arenado got signed. And I was like, well, this was me 2 weeks ago. So I'm just happy they're alive.
I'm just so happy there's a pulse right now. Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know much about the White Sox guy, but I'm pumped about Bo Bichette and then Peralta. I think those are 2 great moves. Yeah.
Well, the White Sox guy is a pure response to the defense, to the fact that our defense was so bad last year. So that's your excitement there. We love that. Hey, go make some plays for the boys. Make some plays for the boys.
Yeah, for sure.
Rocky Romanella. Go.
Little Rock at the intermission of the AHL Amerks tonight. We'll take a picture.
Really?
For you.
No way.
Yeah.
Can you get some video for the show? The people would love to see that.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'll do what I can.
Oh, that's fire. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So turn on the AHL. What's the team? What's the name of the team?
Rochester Americans.
All right. So you check out the Roger. And honestly, the way TV works nowadays, if you have ESPN Plus, you could probably watch this game from like 9 different broadcast units. So
dude, ESPN Plus, 3 screens now.
Yeah,
3 games at once.
I know.
Let's do it.
It's the red zone for hockey every night. It's wild. Oh, well, good luck
catching
to
up
Rocco.
to YouTube TV.
That's exciting. Sure. We'll see him eventually on the Americans one day as well. So this is his precursor. Rocky Romanella, the rundown. Have a great day, bro. Always a good time when Rocky joins the show. Always some great insight. Always some good laughs. We love that. I'm going to do this really quickly for the people because I know it does matter, though, because we want to win some bananas over the weekend. Must I say, this is also what I am watching over the weekend. It's pretty simple. Conference championship games. We have 2 of them on the docket. We have the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots, and we have the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. Let's start with the Broncos and the Patriots. Broncos, they are underdogs in this game, but not by as large of a number as you may think. The Patriots are favored by 5 points, okay? I think the defense and the road factor play into that. I would take the Denver at the +5 there. I don't know. I just really do feel like, though it's Jarrett Stidham, okay? I don't know. I feel like they can keep it within a field goal. That could be a bad pick. That's not an official pick for me. But when I saw that number, I said, you know what? I got to let the people know. I think I might err on the side of that way. My official picks, though, are simple. I got Rams money line. I got Patriots money line. Okay. I got Matthew Stafford over. The line I found him at was 253.5. I think he's going to gunsling mentality, this jobber. They don't have an elite running game, though Kyron Williams could be an elite running back. So I think Stafford throws the rock for over 253.5. Ramondre Stevenson, they have him at 49.5 yards. Well, in my opinion, if the Patriots get up in this game, they're going to keep hammering the rock, run the rock. I got Ramondre over the 49.5, and I got Drake May over the 226.5 on his passing. Those are my bananas for the weekend, and that is what
you're watching.
Sunday conference championship games. Thank you for tuning in. Hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Must I say, an electric weekend. Andrew Romanella, The Rome Show, back on Monday. Peace.
Thank you for listening.